Hi, welcome to Junior Journalist TV. I'm your host, Esme.
And I'm your host, Alex. Today we are going to interview Mr. Schunk.
Thank you for letting us interview you.
You're very welcome. I'm excited.
What is your job at SAS?
My job, I have a title to my job, and it's called Deputy Principal. And when people hear that, sometimes they think there's a sheriff and I'm the deputy. But what Deputy Principal is, I'm really the principal's helper. Mr. Haas is the principal, and I'm one of the people that helps him kind of run the school and make sure things are working the way they're supposed to.
What is your favorite part of your job?
Oh, well, anything where I get to work with kids, yeah? I have a lot of parts of my job that are paperwork and doing things on the computer. But the best parts of my job are like when I can go and see what kids are doing in classrooms, when I get invited in to do things in music or art or PE. In fact, I have a little note right here. Did you know this? I don't know if you all hand this out, but it's Kelly McFadden, the art teacher. I went in and worked in her room, and she gave me a little slip that said, "Thanks for working quietly, Mr. Schunk." So it's just fun when I can get to things that are going on in classes or things that kids are doing.
How long have you lived in Singapore and where have you lived before?
Oh, I love answering this question because this is Mr. Schunk's 32nd year at the Singapore American School, 32 years. And I came to Singapore 34 years ago. And I came in 1988, which seems like a long time ago. I worked here for 4 years, then I went to Venezuela for 2 years. I came back and I never left because I love SAS. So 32 years at SAS for me, and 34 in Singapore, Alex.
What job did you do before you became deputy principal?
These are such good questions. I love these. Before I was the deputy principal, I was a counselor and a psychologist. Psychologist does some testing to help find out how kids learn best so that we can make sure that we're helping them in the best ways. So when I first came and worked at Singapore American School, I was the counselor / psychologist. Then I became a deputy, and that's been, out of those 32 years, I think that's been 26 of those 32 years I've been a deputy.
What did you want to become when you were young?
I didn't know. I went for a long time not knowing what job I wanted to do or what I wanted to become. I just knew things I was really interested in. I liked psychology classes, I liked philosophy classes, I liked things where people talked and shared ideas and debated, and I loved working with kids. So I wound up being able to do things that were enjoyable to me, like my psychology classes, and being a school psychologist because it let me work in a school with kids. So, but I had no idea what I wanted to be. When I was your age, I just wanted to have fun and be in school and make sure I got to hang out with my friends.
Why do you have an obsession with trolls?
Oh, you know, it's a funny thing. I didn't start with a big interest in trolls. A couple of the students said they were going to give me something that happened to be 3 trolls. So of course I wanted them to see that I liked them, and I put them on my shelf. And then a few other kids gave me trolls. And then sometimes when kids cleaned out their toy chests and they had trolls, they said to their mom, "I don't want these anymore, but Mr. Schunk likes them." So sometimes the parents brought them to me, and then I bought some. And this is 20 years worth of collecting. So it started with just 3 that a couple students gave me. And now I think I have trolls, I have over 275. And it's mixed in with other things, beanie babies and stuffed animals.
How much money have you invested in trolls?
Oh, I don't know, because a lot of them were given to me and I never kept track. Not a lot, I don't think, because a lot of them, again, were given to me. You know that there's a big neighborhood sale usually when it's not COVID time over here, right outside this gate, when it's in the neighborhood with all the houses over here. And I used to go to those, and we used to call them yard sales, right? And I would go around and see what was for sale. If I found trolls, usually I could get 3 or 4 for maybe $1. So there's not a lot of money in there. And it was more about the fun of finding them and collecting them. Yeah?
Do you have any trolls at home?
None. They're all here at school. Not a single troll at home. I don't think my wife is a troll fan, so she'd rather I keep them here and call my collection a school collection.
What language do you speak?
You know what, I speak pretty much only English. I lived in Venezuela for a couple of years, so I have a vocabulary with some Spanish words, but I can't really carry on a conversation in Spanish, so I'd say English is the language I have.
If you could live anywhere else in the world, where would you live?
Well, about 6 years ago, my wife and I were trying to answer that question. When we leave Singapore, and we leave the Singapore American School, where do we want to live? And we thought it would be in Europe somewhere, so we traveled in Spain, and we went to Portugal, but we found a house in Italy. So not only do I want to live in Italy, we bought a house 4 years ago, and I'm gonna live in Italy.
What is your favorite thing to do in your spare time?
Oh, well, I've got a bunch of things, but I love riding my bike. So Singapore is so cool because they've created all these different ways that you can get on trails and not have to be on the road. So I really like riding my bike. My other favorite thing is spending time with my dog. So we go out for lots of walks, but we also spend time just playing together. Because my dog, we found on the street. She was kind of homeless, and she needed someone to take her in, so we took her in, and wow, now she's like a member of the family. So I would say riding my bike, taking walks with my dog are my two favorite things.
Is there anything else you would like to tell our audience?
Let's see. I think something I always tell kids is, you know, it's important. My parents told me this, and it really helped me. My parents weren't concerned so much that I get the top marks in class, or always have a perfect test, or always be number one when I did something in sports. They always just told me, why don't you just do your very best, do your very best. And I think that's something that has stuck with me, right? There's always gonna be somebody that might be able to do it better. They might be able to run faster or score a higher mark on a test. But all I want to know is that I did my very, very best. So if I was going to give advice to people, that's what I would say. Yeah? Work hard, do your best.
Thank you for sharing with me and Junior Journalist TV.
You know,
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Can I ask you two a question?
Okay.
When you asked me, oh, what did I always want to be? Do you already have a thought about what you want to be?
I have many options, but I still don't know.
I love that answer. I have many options. Yeah, because I don't think you have to figure it out right now. You can take time, yeah?
My mom told me that I should go to school because if I go to school, I have more like choices for life.
I think all moms and dads tell you that. Get educated, learn as much as you can, and then see what you want to do, yeah? Wow. So I love that answer, though. I have options, yeah?